I want them to do well, and they're helping the show and all of that. But at the same time, I want to give good picks and take them for everything they got, baby. But they got.
Well, that's what it comes down to.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a weird relationship because I'm friendly with them and I want to do well and I want them to do well, but I also want us to do well, and for us to do well, we need to take money from them, which is part of the whole. It's part of the game, and they like it, and it's all fun. So we're gonna get some boosted odds, and we'll see how much we can boost them for the viewers, so we can make a lot of cash. Yes, indeed. It is Wrestling Uncensored. We're previewing AEW's Full Gear. Let's do it. Yes, I am here. Johnny is here. Hello, Johnny.
How's it going?
I'm good. We're wearing our new Johnny shirts. Genesis in different colors. Johnny, get up a bit. Show everybody your cool shirt.
Stand a little bit. Right there.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Look at that.
There you go.
Genesis.
Who needs heads? Nobody needs heads. People just want to see bodies.
Merch.ringsidereport.net. Merch.ringsidereport.net. Dress like us. Be cool.
There's other colors, too. Like you showed me, there's also a dark blue, I think.
Yeah. I have another one for somebody on the show who may go by initials, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about AJ. So merch.ringsidereport.net is where you need to go. Check it out. Check out our website, ringsidereport.net. I got a lot of promos to do, a lot of plugs. We got boosted odds. Did you see that promo as we were coming in about the boosted odds for Bet99?
I see it all the time.
Yeah. We've got boosted odds this weekend. I don't know if you know this, but if you go to the Bet99 website, we've got boosted odds for the UFC fight this weekend. The regular odds on Paul Craig to win are plus 295, and we've got a Ringside Report banger on Bet99.com right now, plus 320. So if you bet $20 on Paul Craig to win regular, you win 79. If you bet him with the Bet99 boosted odds at Bet99.com, 84. That's more.
Now, this is with your picks, right? It's not with everyone's picks. Correct?
What do you mean?
Like the boosted odds. The boosted odds are only with your picks.
Yeah, this is our pick for one fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like AJ didn't pick the same.
No, he picked a different guy, right? Yeah, he picked the other guy. Yeah, well, we're going with my picks. Look at that. UFC Ringside Report banger right now. Paul Craig wins plus 320 over at Bet99.com. Bet99.ringsidereport.net is what you need to do. Bet99.ringsidereport.net. Sign in through there. And I've got Paul Craig as an underdog, and the regular odds at Bet99 are plus 295. But with the Ringside Report banger, you get it at plus 320. More. Boosted odds. I like it. So shout out to our friends at Bet99.com. Shout out to John Alex and everybody over at Bet99.com making it happen. Paul Craig wins. It's the Ringside Report banger. We got wrestling to talk about. Banger after banger after banger, as Sheamus would say. We're watching Christian right now. Christian Cage is wrestling Trent at AEW Rampage. We just watched a ton of wrestling. We watched Smackdown and AEW Collision at the same damn time. It was exciting. It was a lot of wrestling. A lot of people in the chat are talking about the Devil, CM Punk. Is it him? Is it Jungle Boy? Is it Britt the Baker? Who knows? Shout out Ryan Katz, Alex Tarris, Jimmy James. See you guys in the chat. TK, Angelo Cantagonis. What's up, Angelo? Say it again.
I think the Devil's Adam Cole because it's the obvious one. So Usually that's what it is. So I think it's Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, the baby. Will he reveal himself as the devil tomorrow at Full Gear?
Again, I'm in the favor of you should reveal this sooner than later. Like if you drag this too long, people kind of lose interest. I think it's hot right now, so I think you should. But the thing is, yeah, it's not Dave Simon. Sorry, guys, but
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not
he
the
told me it's
devil.
not him.
Far from it.
Right? Yes. No one would ever say that about you.
How dare you?
Ever.
I mean, the devil? That's far.
I know you and AJ don't get along sometimes, but
What?
yeah, I don't think he'd say that. So
No,
it's okay.
AJ and I always get along. It's all in good fun. Alex Tarris thinks it's me. It is not me. Shout out to Jason Pete, Woodland Metal out in Mexico watching us over on Twitch. I see you, Jason. Good to see you tonight. Everybody on Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, watching us this evening. I don't know who the devil is, John. I'm not convinced it's Adam Cole. I would be disappointed if
Really?
Adam Cole was the reveal as the devil. I think I'd be disappointed if Britt Baker was the devil. Like I said last
So who would you
week,
be happy with?
Punk.
Wow, yeah, but come on.
Ronda Rousey
Again,
as the devil would be interesting. Dolph Ziggler as the devil.
Yeah, but Ronda, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would Ronda be the devil? I mean, it's a nice, like, cool shock factor thing, but in terms of the storyline, why?
No, it doesn't make sense. Goldberg.
Yeah, well, you can tell the shape of the guy. It's definitely not someone massive,
Yeah.
so it's not Goldberg.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's Adam Cole, it's kind of like is that exciting?
I mean, it makes sense with the story and everything. Where MJF is kind of like worried about it, Adam Cole's telling him not to worry about it. I think that it kind of adds up. And it's like, oh, Adam Cole's not there, but he actually is there, kind of thing. You know, like you see him on the video screen, but you don't see him in the actual arena, but he is there all along.
Mm-hmm. And we did see Roderick Strong and his friends there backstage at Dynamite FaceTiming Adam Cole, and they were saying
Right.
MJF is the devil, and Adam Cole says he's not the devil. I know that he's not, which makes you wonder, well, how does he know?
Right.
So is he injured?
Yeah, I think he's injured, and like no matter what, like, even if he's the devil, it's not going to result in a match right away, but it could result in he'll set up someone to face MJF kind of thing, like Roderick Strong or something like that, or Samoa Joe.
Are they the goons, Roderick Strong and his friends? Because they seem to be trying to figure out who the devil is in an earnest way. Like they don't seem to be playing it off. Like they seem to be really confused. So they can't be the goons. Wouldn't really make sense.
You would think, but stranger things have happened.
Meh.
Especially with AEW. So
yeah,
interesting commentary. No Excalibur tonight. Usually Excalibur does Rampage and Taz too.
Well, it's a lot of work for this guy. Who do they have? Jericho, Nigel McGuinness, and Shivani. You see, SmackDown had the guy Kevin something.
Kevin Patrick.
Yeah. Road Dogg.
Michael Cole.
And Michael Cole. But Road Dogg was there.
Well, I guess Michael Hayes doesn't want to be Doc Hendricks anymore, so they don't have anybody else really for commentary.
Is that it?
I mean, who else do they have there back there? Brother Love, you know, like no one really wants to do commentary anymore. Road Dogg's more recent of all those guys, if you think about it, so
it was weird.
Kind of makes sense.
You can't call JBL?
Well, I think JBL's busy most of the time. No, isn't he?
I don't know. he seemed to be available for that Baron Corbin thing. You don't remember him talking about that? He's like, yeah, I didn't really know. From week to week, they called me, and then I showed up. But I didn't really know how long it was going to last. So
Kill
he
that
seems
quick.
available.
Yeah, but for a SmackDown, just a random thing like this, it'll just take someone who works there. It's easier.
I guess. Try out Road Dogg on commentary just in case. Whatever.
It's not like I listen to WWE commentary anyways. I don't know about you. It sounds like the thing I'm dying to listen to. If I'm going to listen to any commentary, I'll listen to AEW has better commentary. No question.
Yeah.
Excalibur wasn't there. This was definitely the best with AEW, the commentary.
I really wonder what they're going to do as the Devil reveal. I hope it's something good. I hope it's somebody that's
don't hype yourself up too much.
Yeah, I know, but I want it to be somebody that's not currently on the roster. Because I think anybody currently on the roster is kind of like either doesn't make sense or isn't that exciting. So Adam Cole, in the end, is the Devil, and he, like, run me through it, you know? Like, okay, he's the Devil. So he doesn't like the Acclaimed because they were getting too close and too friendly with MJF, and he doesn't like Jay White and his friends because they were messing with MJF. But why would Adam Cole hide all of this activity from his supposed best friend MJF?
Well, they got to flesh all that out. Like, I'm sure they'd have to come up with their own reasons for everything, and maybe that's a big reason why we haven't got a reveal yet, because they haven't completely figured out how this is all going to work. But I'm sure they'll have an idea for it. They always come up with something, even if it doesn't really make too much sense. They'll still throw something out there. So
like
Adam Cole in the end,
CM Punk would make sense too.
Of course, but that works too good. You know, it's like there's no way they went through all that trouble just for it to be Punk. To get rid of him and everything, do it in Chicago of all places, like, and just to completely erase him. Everything they were doing with that whole Real World Championship, just completely erase that, just for this storyline. You know, like, hard to believe they do that. I mean, it'd be awesome. It'd be the best thing they ever did, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that he was fired and then they got back together and they figured it out, and then they were trying to figure out a way to bring him back, and this was the way they decided. I mean, it's possible. I don't know how likely it is, but at this point, it doesn't feel like he's going to WWE either. All the reports are, like, all the news guys in wrestling are saying, yeah, nothing really there.
Yeah, but the Nakamura stuff, like, every week he's talking about somebody. It feels like he's going to face somebody at Survivor Series. I mean, it can't just be a random person on the roster. It should be someone coming in. I mean, Punk makes a lot of sense for that.
Nakamura's opponent at Survivor Series will be CM Punk. It's a weird spot to come back with.
Yeah, but it's in Chicago. I mean, as long as that music hits and then he hits the GTS, that'll be the biggest thing of the night.
Yeah. I'm just not convinced it's going to happen. It'll be cool. I'm just not convinced it's going to happen. Like tonight, main event of SmackDown was a promo. You know, all night we're wondering who's going to be the fourth member of Team Charlotte, Bianca, and Shotzi for War Games. They need a fourth member to face the Damage Control team of Asuka, Io, Bayley, and Kyrie, right? So they need a fourth member. And then Bianca's talking to Michin backstage, and then cut to later, and Damage Control's beating up Michin backstage. Then Bianca's talking to Zelina Vega backstage, and they seem to reach an agreement. And then cut to later, and Damage Control's beating up Zelina Vega. So then Bianca and Shotzi tell Charlotte she's got to make that phone call because they need a teammate. So Charlotte goes and makes some sort of phone call. And then in the main event, they come out and they say, yes, we are ready. We accept the challenge for War Games Survivor Series. And then Bayley and Damage Control, they all come out and say, well, there's nobody. You have no friends, Charlotte. You're a loser. And Bayley is hilarious on the mic. Do you like Bayley's promos? I feel like she's been really great over the past few weeks, especially. I mean, she's always good, but I feel like her stuff, especially with the addition of Asuka and Kyrie, the way she sold that, the facial expressions, the promos, she's been really good.
Well, here's the problem with it. It's going head-to-head with Collision, and who's doing a promo on Collision at pretty much the same time?
Christian.
It was Christian.
At last.
And come on, like there's no comparison there. Christian is a far better promo than all those people in the WWE ring. So Christian was, I was listening far more to what Christian was saying than what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian, for the most part, it was a pretty basic promo, but still, like, I'd rather listen to Christian doing a basic promo than anything that they were trying, because, like, some of it just seemed like they were trying to go back and forth on it, and it wasn't as interesting as what anything Christian was saying.
I liked the stuff Bayley was saying to Charlotte when she came out at the end. I like Bayley, is the point. And then the surprise was Becky Lynch. She comes out, and Becky and Charlotte kind of nod at each other, and they're, okay now, because Charlotte said something about, I know a thing or two about turning on a best friend, and if I'm going to go to war, though, there's only one person that I want on my side, and it's Becky. And then Becky and Charlotte and everybody, they all have a big brawl, and Charlotte and Io did a moonsault on the pile, and then Charlotte and Io look at each other for a way too long amount of time before starting another awkward fight with each other that just... And then everybody gets up from the pile, and they start brawling. It was like a little too convenient and fake. Not a great ending to SmackDown. And again, my point is about CM Punk and about the WWE and about what they're currently doing. I expected maybe they got Sasha Banks. Maybe they got Ronda back. Maybe they got something. But no, they just brought Becky over from Raw. And it is kind of cool to see Becky and Charlotte together again, and you wonder, like, what happened and how is everything going and whatever. But they're not bringing in big stars from the outside. I can't really remember. I guess Cody is the last big star from the outside that they brought in. They don't do it that often. I don't think they feel... Dragon. I feel like they don't need it. I feel like they feel like they don't need it. They're so far ahead of everybody else. Like, why? Why go through the trouble?
Stars. Not everyone's over, but they have enough stars in a sense that they can survive. I mean, they can fill up a whole War Games for 2 matches, so they can survive without this. But I did notice that, I don't know how you saw this, but I thought SmackDown, it didn't start very strong. Where I thought Collision actually did kind of start strong. It was kind of the opposite effect. SmackDown picked up in the second hour, and Collision, you could tell the lack of star power was hurting the show a bit. And which is very surprising because you have the pay-per-view tomorrow. Like, how come you don't have more of your star talent on the show when you have 3 hours to fill? And you couldn't fill it with enough stars. I didn't understand that. Where SmackDown, they don't really have that problem. But for whatever reason, that first hour just dragged. I don't know what was going on there. They just weren't trying.
I don't know. I mean, they had the triple threat tag team match, Street Profits getting the win over Brawling Brutes and Pretty Deadly. That was not great.
That was great.
Yeah.
And that's dumb. Like, triple threat. So anything goes, backyard wrestling, yet tags are allowed. It's like, oh, we have to accept the tag rules and all that. Like, again, I don't understand that. And it's just random spots back and forth. There's no like build up to anything except finally a finish, which is terrible, by the way. The Street Profits do the stupid one-handed Irish whip thing to one of the guys. Like, just it's ridiculous. Like, you're not like Yokozuna or something like that. You're not that gigantic Profits. Like,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be able just to whip people like with one hand. Like, maybe some of the smaller guys, but no, not the bigger ones. That doesn't make sense. And they do it all the time. I wasn't a fan of that triple threat tag.
AEW, though, at the same time was running Miro versus Daniel Garcia, which was, okay. But
I thought it was all right, though.
yeah,
Like, it was better than the triple threat, that's for sure.
it was.
And a singles match, you get much more invested in that and just a bunch of stuff all over the place.
And Miro getting the win there by submission. It was decent. Then it was followed by a Lana and Andrade promo. They're together. Lana is managing him, and she entered Andrade in that Continental Classic tournament that I want to talk about. And
It's like the
Andrade's like not sure that he wants to be in it, and then Lana whispers something in his ear, and he's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yes, yes." And he like accepts to be in the tournament. I don't know what is going on there, but that promo was really awkward. It was quite bad.
Andrade's English isn't exactly great,
Mm-mm.
so that comes off awkward. And then CJ, like, you didn't understand what the hell she was talking about.
Nope.
So yeah, like, some of it's kind of vague and just all over the place. So yeah, it's just weird. Comes off awkward.
Yep, did not like that. So, I don't know. And then SmackDown had Dragon Lee versus Axiom. I'm not sure who this Axiom fellow was, but he was pretty good. I thought that match was good on SmackDown.
It's probably the best match you saw this week on SmackDown, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that. That was match of the night on SmackDown. Match of the night on Collision, I thought, was Buddy Matthews and Wheeler Utah, though. That match was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that's, again, where we're lacking the star power. I didn't feel the energy was there. It wasn't bad, but we had just seen Dax against Roosh. And I thought that was a
too,
far better, far better match.
Yeah.
Crappy finish, but great match. Like, to me, that may have been the match of the night.
I think I missed some of that match because I was watching SmackDown. I was focused on something on SmackDown at the same time.
I think there was a promo. I think it was Santos's promo.
Was that it?
At the same time.
It wasn't Heyman's promo?
Well, it was long. It may have been both, because that match was long, and Santos's promo went long, too. There was a bit of a downtime right there. Like, after the Dragon Lee match, maybe they had the match where it was Grayson Waller
and Grimes.
Yeah,
I didn't really watch that. Who cares about that? Who cares? That was bad. But yeah, Dax and Roosh was pretty good. But I watched the Santos promo talking about turning on Ray because Ray took the U.S. title and he chose Carlito over him. And then he says that he hopes Ray's surgery goes badly, he gets an infection, and his leg gets amputated, which I thought was kind of rough. That was a stiff one.
A little bit.
Yeah. I don't recall hearing Santos Escobar speak for this long. I didn't realize he had zero accent when he spoke.
I thought it was all right, though. Like, he got the point across.
What the hell is this?
Well, it went black and white because Tony just did her butt thing.
So when Toni Storm is about to do her running butt move, the screen goes black and white?
Mm-hmm. What I like, too,
like, is ridiculous.
No, but on Collision, it was good. Like, or was it on Dynamite? When it was Mariah May, like, she went to go see her.
Yeah.
And then the screen turned black when they went to her, black and white.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.
That's
good. That's fantastic.
But not during the match.
Well, for moments, if they're going to give her moments like that, it's fine, because that's her screen time or whatever, so it makes sense. I don't know about having her have a match like this, like, right before, pay-per-views tomorrow. Like, it should have been more one-sided, but This is the way they do it. They just like to have more competitive matches.
Unnecessary. It's all unnecessary. Grayson Waller beat Cameron Grimes. Speaking of unnecessary, Paul Heyman cut a promo with Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso bragging about Solo beating John Cena and said, "We'll never see Cena again because of Solo Sikoa."
Thank you.
Is that true? He said Cena will never perform in a WWE ring again because of Solo Sikoa. Is it true, John?
I hope it is.
Not John
I
Cena.
feel like it won't be.
No, I don't believe it.
Could we have not gone to the kid that was apparently crying in the front row that Heyman was making fun of? Like, I always like to see some tears on my screen, but I didn't get to see any of that. They just said that was happening.
You enjoyed tears.
When kids are crying on television, that's fantastic. That's good TV, man.
You're an
Remember when
evil
Gable's
man, you
kids
know
were
that?
crying?
I think you're the devil.
It's good stuff. People like that stuff.
Harold Schneider says Jade Cargill was their most recent outside addition. Yeah, that's true, Harold. That was a big one.
Yep.
That was good.
And it was AEW, too.
I just don't think they're going to get CM Punk.
I mean, they really need to. For Chicago, I mean, just the reaction. But they don't need to in the long term, right? Because they have enough stars. So they're fine with it. But just imagine just the reaction that's going to get, how much T-shirts he's going to sell. It's a lot of money, a lot of reaction. People are going to tune in.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. I want them to do it. I just don't think that they will. We'll see. What about this AEW tournament thing that they're doing? Is it 12-man? Is it 16-man? Do you know?
I'm not sure how many people, but apparently it's supposed to work like the G1.
Yeah.
So there's going to be different brackets and all this. So, and apparently we're getting matches in Montreal.
They're called blocks, John. Blocks. Okay.
Fine, blocks. Block A, Block B, whatever they want to call it.
Yes.
But I have no idea, like, because you say it's 12, right?
Well, that's what Shivani said tonight on Collision, but I thought I saw 16 somewhere, which seems like a better number, but 12, I guess, makes sense if you're doing round-robin matches. And then the winner of A block 16. And the winner of B block will face each other at World's End. Right?
Well, we only have two people so far. It's Andrade and Brian the Pirate so far.
Brian the Pirate. Yeah, Bryan Danielson showed up on Collision last weekend, and he had like his eye taped up, and he said he's going to be in this tournament.
So you might get Montreal now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which starts soon, right? The tournament?
I want to say it starts at the end of the month. Could be wrong, but yeah.
So we might get Bryan Danielson here when AEW comes, which would be amazing because I really would like to see him wrestle. So that's good news. And we thought he would be out for longer too, right? Surprised he's back so soon.
They just patch up his eye. He can't see out of it. It's fine. Go out and wrestle.
Whatever. He's better one-eyed than 95% of everybody else at 100%. So I'm good with it if he's good with it. I like the idea of this tournament, though. I think it's good.
It's a good idea, but you got to have some top competitors, too. Mm-hmm. You start off with two good competitors. Who else do you have? You're going to need to keep this going. You can't just put, Daniel Garcia, Wheeler, Trent.
No.
You can't just do that because then it's just one of these tournaments where it's like, wow, this is obvious.
Mm-hmm. Give me an A block, give me a B block. All right? I'm gonna give you one, okay? In the A block, you have Bryan Danielson, let's say Andrade, Hangman Page, Swerve.
Okay.
Pentagon, and Darby Allin. Is that 6?
All
That's
right.
6. Right?
Yeah, it's 6.
You get cool matches there. You get Pentagon versus Darby, Darby versus Bryan, Darby versus Andrade, Andrade versus Bryan. Like, there's cool matches there. And then B block, give me Kenny Omega. I don't know. Help me out. Who's on the roster?
Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho, Miro. Where's Sammy
I'd say
Guevara?
Roderick.
Is he coming back? Is he all right?
He's got concussion. He's out.
Oh.
He's out.
Okay,
Roderick
Miro, Jericho, Kenny. Who else could be in this thing? Who else are they?
Roderick Strong.
Roderick
Samoa
Strong.
Joe.
No. I don't want it to be that level. It's got to be a little higher level than Roderick Strong. Give me Samoa Joe. Throw Samoa Joe in there. Give me Ricky Starks.
Okay, yeah.
And one more guy.
I'd throw in Keith Lee, but again, you have a certain level requirement for this.
I think Keith Lee's good. Basket of Glory.
Fine.
Give me Keith Lee. Yeah, I'll take Keith Lee. 12 works. If it's round robin, you could have all 12 guys wrestling on one show. 3 matches. Very easily. 6 matches. Right?
Well, it's got to go all the way to World's End, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's round robin, so it's points. Everybody wrestles everybody in A block. All 6 guys will wrestle each other. All 6 guys wrestle each other. And then whoever has the most points at the end, boom, they win the block, and then they face each other in a final match. I think you could do it with 6. I think you could do it with 16. With 12 or 16. But I think they're doing it with 12, according to what Shivani was saying. And they got some stars.
I think 12.
Yeah.
12's better. Again, you dilute it too much, it's not going to be as good, I think. You'll get matches like we see right now.
Yeah, exactly. This shouldn't be like a tournament match. Action Andretti against Roderick Strong on Rampage right now. Who cares? What did you think of that Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Big Show, Kota Ibushi match against Takeshita, Brian Cage, Kyle Fletcher, and Hobbs on Dynamite? Because I thought it was fantastic. It was just crazy.
Crazy is a good word for it. There were parts I liked, parts I didn't like. I thought it started all right. I enjoyed the action. Thought it was good, fast paced. I didn't mind what happened to Big Show. It made sense. You got to get him out of the match somehow. That was a cool little moment they had.
I mean,
that was all right.
Hobbs slammed him off a platform through a windshield of a car, and that took out Big Show. It was a hell of a bump, especially the way Big Show was moving around. It was like, my God. And the sound they made, just the sound of Hobbs and the sound of Show when he collided, it was devastating. Ibushi
I don't get
on the
why
bicycle.
Jericho. Yeah, I didn't like that. I hated that a lot. I don't get why Jericho and Big Show.
What about Ibushi bumping on the bicycle? That was crazy. That was a crazy bump.
Yeah, but that little stuff we did with the baton there, that was bad.
Okay, but that's DDT style stuff. Whatever. I know people are gonna hate it, and it's fine. And I didn't mind it because that's just Ibushi, and I get it. But taking a brainbuster on a bike, a real bike, I mean, he had the grease marks and stuff on his back. That's the sharp edges there. I mean, that's rough. You wouldn't want to bump on a bike. I mean, I'm sure you would do it, but it's a tough bump.
It's tough, but the thing is, you're already off put by the fact that we just saw something bad, and it's that kind of helped make up for it a little bit. But I thought Ibushi had some of the worst moments in this match. Like he took that tombstone to the outside, and he got up before the other guy got up. I think Kyle Fletcher never got up. Ibushi was already up. I was like, what? The selling? Is there selling here? Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why Jericho and Big Show wore suits, and Kenny and Ibushi didn't wear suits. Like, are we a team here? Like, what's going on? Like, are you playing up to the whole like gimmick of this video game or not? Like, I didn't understand that.
Me neither. I didn't understand the suits. It was something about the video game they were promoting with the match, but I didn't really know what the video game was, so I just thought they looked weird coming out in suits. And then Ibushi and Kenny weren't wearing the suits, so it was double weird. Yeah,
But I
I
thought
liked
Kenny
it
looked
though.
good in this
I thought the
match.
match was fun. Kenny
There
hit
were
the
good
one wing
moments.
angel on Brian Cage to win. I mean, it was the
I
most
like the duct
exciting
tape.
match of the whole show on Dynamite.
Yes. Yeah. Dynamite wasn't exactly great this week, so
Mm-mm.
this match definitely stood out. But for many reasons, good and bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I liked it. Moxley and Yuta beating Orange and Hook was pretty good too in the opener. Was that the first time Hook ever lost? He got pinned too.
I think he's lost before. He lost to Jack Perry. Remember, he lost the title, so he's lost before. But for me, like, I feel like that's the first time he's really lost, and it's like that was just he just straight up lost. There was no controversy whatsoever. He just lost. Period.
Yeah, he just got beat because Jack Perry,
Yeah.
he cheated or something, right?
Well, shenanigans, whatever. There's a bunch of stuff. But with this, no, Moxley just beat him up, and then Wheeler pinned him. That was it.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. Sky Blue and Red Velvet, I thought was not very good. They botched the finisher. It was not good.
Yep. That happens. It's too
Yeah.
bad. Crowd was into it though, which was odd.
People like Sky Blue. She's over.
Well, she's got the title match. It's triple threat, right? So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. How about it? You want to get into Full Gear? Anything else on
Sure.
Dynamite or Collision jump out at you that?
Just more of what I said. I thought it started good Collision, then kind of went down a little bit. Like I thought the main event was kind of lacking. It didn't feel like a big main event. Like,
Well, it's a
and that's
promo.
what I thought.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
Collision you're talking about, yeah.
Collision did end with the MJF promo. I mean, you're technically not wrong, but I was
So did
talking more about
Dynamite.
that tag match.
Right?
Yeah, everything ends with a promo, but for them, it makes a little bit more sense. There's a pay-per-view tomorrow, so a lot of hype. Makes sense. I mean, SmackDown, this really brought home the fact that, wow, it's mainly a recap show. Like, when you see so much wrestling on Collision in 2 hours and then barely any wrestling on SmackDown, you're
Yeah.
like, wow, yeah. One is a wrestling show, one's just a recap show with odd little things here and there.
Yeah.
But the promos were good. The promos were good on SmackDown.
Yeah, Heyman's promo was good on SmackDown.
Santos was good too. The heel turn, like I like that with the LWO, like breaking up with them.
Yeah.
Thought that was good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. The way Zelina came out and slapped him, and she was all upset, and then Cruz and Joaquin came out, and Santos told them, to get lost if they're not going to stick with him. I thought that was good. I thought Heyman's promo was good. I thought LA Knight's promo was good. I thought LA Knight and Jimmy Uso had an interesting match. It was all right, but it was pretty short. It was shorter than I expected. And I kind of liked that LA Knight just beats Jimmy Uso in like 5 minutes. It's not even difficult.
Well, they're building him towards Solo, I think. So, yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. The building towards Solo is going to be a lot harder, I think.
Solo came out after the match and hit the spike on LA Knight, and they set up LA on the announce table, but Cody Rhodes came out and saved LA Knight.
Yeah.
Cody.
Why? Why are we like?
I don't know.
We finally get GMs, and we're breaking the draft again. Twice in one night, by the way. It's like, oh wow, you really just don't have enough people on SmackDown. You have to keep breaking the draft.
Yeah. They brought in Cody and Becky Lynch from Raw tonight. I'm not really sure. Could it be something with War Games? Because
Probably.
Drew McIntyre helped Finn Balor and Damian Priest retain the tag team titles over.
That looked bad.
Oh,
and
my
that's
God.
Roderick Strong. It's funny, he has a gimmick about his bad neck.
Yeah.
Oof.
But he just took something from Action Andretti. Roderick Strong just took something from Action Andretti on his neck. What were they trying to do there?
Spanish
and now
fly.
They're giving us a wide shot. Roderick Strong looks like he may be injured here on Rampage. Uh-oh, this is ugly.
He just got dumped right on his head.
Yeah. It looked like they were trying to do like a standing Spanish fly, maybe?
Well, it was like a running off the ropes kind of thing, but it just went down. And yeah.
Oh, no, he's selling. Is this a sell? This is not real? This is part of the neck gimmick? Really? Because he did land right on his head.
I think it was like the doctor coming in. I think they did stop the match, but now they're back to normal here.
They're going again. What just happened there? Are they going to end the match here? Oh.
If you saw it, the Spanish fly, like he did right on his neck. So I think they just took like precaution there.
But it looked like Action Andretti landed on his head too.
Yeah,
but
him too.
Strong looks okay. Okay.
Well, I hit the finish too. It's over.
Wow. That looked a little bad, right? Because they really did land on their head.
Well, when they went wide, that did not look good. That means like, uh-oh.
But now the ref is checking on Action. I felt like Action took more of it on his head. I'm not sure.
Oh,
are they going to show it again?
So bad.
Oh, God, yeah. Roderick Strong, they did a Spanish fly, and Roderick Strong, like, got his neck crushed.
Yeah.
Like, he really did bend his neck in half, like he landed right on his head. It's weird because his gimmick is that he has neck injuries, and he always wears a neck brace, and he sits around in a wheelchair, but he really did get dumped on his neck there.
Yeah, and they did stop the match, like.
But did they? Or was that part of the gimmick?
Well, I think. Well, no, wait, because like they had to take a precaution on that one because that was disgusting looking. Like that looked like he was going to get paralyzed right there.
It is a little confusing though when you get a neck injury possibly, but your gimmick is that you get neck injuries. So then when you get a real neck injury, people are like, was that real? I can't even tell.
Well, it'll get people talking when they see that. That's for sure. Got us talking. Got us to just stop everything we're doing. It's like, oh my goodness. So it worked.
Angelo Contagones in the chat. People are talking. He says, what's the point of the Continental Classic? Leor adds in, good question, Angelo. What is the point of the Continental Classic? What do you get if you win? I think you just win. Maybe a title shot?
Money?
Money?
I thought that's what CJ said, but there's money. Like Andrade gets more money.
Yeah, but he gets a bonus for being in the tournament, but that was just to entice him to be in the tournament. I don't know if everybody gets more money. And like if you win the tournament, what do you get? It hasn't been determined if you get anything, but it's kind of like the Owen Hart tournament. What do you get? A belt?
Yeah. You get an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's much of a point, but it's kind of like
I think we're ending Rampage with Jay White talking because we ended Collision with MJF talking.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the G1, if you win it, you get a title shot at Wrestle Kingdom, which is the biggest show of the year.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
It's like winning the Royal Rumble, but I don't think they're going to do this.
MJF
attacking Jay White-O. Oh, that makes sense. Is he going to steal the belt back finally? Is he going to get his belt back? before the pay-per-view. That'd be good.
Try.
Jay White's been hanging around with MJF's Triple B. MJF attacking Jay White. Tried to get the belt back. Jay White holding on to it, though. And they're brawling in the arena, brother.
Oh. There's Juice.
Oh, here come the boys. Juice-O. Juice Robinson. Mr. Tony Storm.
And that's the end of that, I guess.
They go into a dressing room together. Juice closes the door, and I guess Jay White just escapes.
I guess.
Cool.
They're talking now at commentary.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, we're back. We're back. They're trying to open the door. It's locked.
Oh.
I think Juice is late. Juice is laid out.
Oh, okay. Well, of course. I mean, why would Juice stick himself in a room with MJF? MJF is going to beat him up. MJF had like a TV that I guess he had smashed over Juice. Juice is maybe bleeding, but not really. And then MJF has gone to chase Jay White. And Juice is just lying, selling.
He's chasing him to the entranceway here.
Oh, they're going out in front of the crowd to fight. Okay.
Exciting ending to Rampage here.
And it brings us to AEW Full Gear, which is going on tomorrow night. We'll be on right after AEW Full Gear to recap the action. MJF defending the AEW World Championship against Jay White, though, in the main event. I think the match is going to be great. I think MJF is going to retain.
And get the belt back finally.
I think it could go either way, but I think MJF will retain. Because World's End, Long Island, it just makes sense for MJF to walk in as champion for that pay-per-view coming up in December. So I think MJF will retain.
Oh, he's got the belt.
The match will be great. And that'll be that. I don't know what will happen between MJF and Jay White going forward, but I think it'll be over, and Jay White will move on and do some other stuff, and MJF will move on to, I'm not too sure. Maybe to deal with whoever the devil is, maybe to do something with Samoa Joe, maybe to do something with Wardlow. There's stuff out there for MJF to do after Jay White, but I think after MJF beats Jay White tomorrow night, he's going to move on from Jay White and the Bullet Club Gold guys and do something else.
Belt back.
Yeah, the Bullet Club Gold guys. The Ass Boys are here with Jay White beating up MJF, and Jay White is taking the belt back. MJF getting beat up again. The numbers game, Johnny North, the numbers game. But,
I feel...
Yeah, MJF, right? He's going to win.
Well, yeah, because Jay White's got the advantage throughout pretty much all this. There's Samoa Joe coming out for the save, which is weird. So I guess Samoa Joe is going to be his partner tomorrow.
Maybe. Samoa Joe has been trying to get MJF to have him by his side, team with him. And if he does use him as backup, Joe says that he will then require a world title shot against MJF. So I'm not really sure what the arrangement is. Like, be my friend until we fight. Be my friend so we can fight. Like it, right?
Yeah, if you want my service, you can have it, but it requires a title shot.
But for how long? And then once he gets a title shot and loses, like, is that it? It doesn't help MJF anymore? Wouldn't MJF just delay the title shot forever? Samoa Joe trying to shake the hand of MJF after saving MJF from the Bullet Club guys, from Jay White and the Ass Boys. Joe extending his hand. MJF finally shakes the hand of Samoa Joe. So it looks like Joe will be MJF's tag team partner to defend the Ring of Honor tag team titles in the opening match on the pre-show against the Guns, also known as the Ass Boys, Billy Gunn's children. I've got MJF and Joe in that match now, right? I mean, they've got to win.
Yes. But they don't have to win, but yeah, I got them winning.
Yeah. And MJF over Jay White in the main event, too.
Yeah, it's a good night for MJF. Keeps all his belts again. 2
It's always a
pay-per-views in
good
a
night.
row.
I mean, it's MJF. It's AEW. He's the best. Why not?
I think, are we in, or they're just wrapping up, I guess? Or
Yeah,
just
they're
going over
recapping the pay-per-view for tomorrow, and we're going to preview the pay-per-view right now. We've got, what else do we have? Sting, Darby Allin, and Edge with Ric Flair, who's is Flair going to be there?
Ric Flair has stated that he's going to be dancing with Sting after the match is over.
Cool. So the Nature Boy will be there with Edge, Sting, and Darby Allin. Oh, put Edge in that Continental Classic. That'd be cool. Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne are the opponents. I think Sting, Darby, and Edge will definitely win. I think Nick Wayne or Luchasaurus will take the fall. Probably Nick Wayne. And the match will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Sting, Darby, and Edge. That's a cool team against Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. Seeing Ric Flair is always fun. I know some people object to his presence, but I like Ric Flair. I find him entertaining. He's an entertaining character to me. He's funny, Says funny things, does funny things, power. Rips his shirt off, gets sweaty. I like it. Huh?
He has star power. It's something that a lot of people lack. For AEW, they don't have those larger-than-life characters. Ric Flair is one of them.
Yeah.
So they kind of need Ric Flair in a sense to help attract more attention.
Yeah, it helps. I don't think it hurts. I think it helps. I like Ric Flair. He's fun. He's fun to see. So yeah, Sting, Darby, and Edge should win though, right? I mean, come on.
Well, thinking about it, it's Edge's first pay-per-view match, right?
Yeah.
And Sting doesn't lose too much. We're at the retirement tour right now, so yeah, they're not going to lose this match. I don't think the heels don't need to win.
No, and Sting, I don't think is going to lose any match until maybe his retirement match, right? Like you said, why would he lose? He never loses anyway.
Yeah, barely. I mean, if they lost, it was because it's a weird 8-man whatever, and there's a bunch of shenanigans going on. But yeah, I don't see them losing this one. They built this up quite a bit. Yeah, faces win this one. For me, it should open the show. I think that'd be a great opener.
Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. AEW International Championship on the line. Orange defending again here against Mox. Does Orange win the revenge match? This is the rematch. Does Orange, finally take it? Can he do it? Or does Moxley beat Orange Cassidy again? I feel like this will be Orange's time. I feel like the story calls for Orange to win here. So I think Orange will win. But the last match was really good. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I just feel like because that was a main event kind of match, had a lot of time. I don't know if they'll have as much time for this one. And with Orange winning, it's going to be more like a roll-up kind of thing. He's not going to beat Moxley the way Moxley beat Orange with pretty much everything. He's just going to steal win somehow, I think.
Yeah, like one of those roll-up things that he does. What's that thing he does? A little...
There's a seat belt, one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be something like that, yeah. I expect that. It'll be a fine match, but I don't know if it'll be as good as the first one, though. That's high standards, the first one.
Yeah, and like we said before, it main evented that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know where this match is going to be. I could see this one opening the show.
Maybe, you're right, yeah. It's possible.
I would throw this as the opener. I think, Moxley gets the crowd going. People love Orange. It's a hot match. Might not be a bad idea to open up the show. How about Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland in a Texas death match? I really liked Hangman's promo on Dynamite. Hangman was like going really hard at Swerve. It was Hangman and Swerve in a face-to-face where they weren't allowed to fight each other or the match would be off. And Hangman just went in on Swerve, said he was a coward who got fired 2 years ago. And Swerve isn't the man that he thinks he is. That's why his fiance left him and his kids won't talk to him. Like, what was all that?
Well, he said he got personal because he made it personal with Hangman going into his house, so he made it personal now with Swerve. So
Yeah, but
I get that part.
well, I mean, he got personal with Hangman. He went to Hangman's house, but he didn't really, right? He stood over Hangman's baby, but he didn't really. There was no baby in that crib. Like, that was all wrestling. That was all whatever. Does Swerve have a fiance that left him? Does he have children that he is estranged with? Like, what's the story there? Because that's not part of anything. That felt like something else. That felt like Hangman CM Punk, like Hangman kind of going into business for himself in a promo. I'm not sure, because Hangman was saying things that felt like real shots, but also we had no basis, no background for any of it. So you go, what? His fiance left him? He's got kids that he doesn't talk to? What's the story there? I never heard that before.
Right.
How is this a promo? Like, where did this come from? It was odd. It was odd.
Well, it was just to give Hangman something because Swerve attacked him personally, so this is a way him attacking him personally. And kind of odd, but to me, like, it's set up because Swerve never got to say anything back. It was just a one-sided promo. So to me, this was just to give Hangman something because it's kind of been one-sided so far. So Hangman finally got his over in this one.
Who won the last one? Swerve, right?
Swerve. Yeah.
This is Texas Death.
Right.
That's a Hangman match.
Yep.
So he obliterates him in the promo, in the lead-up, and then beats him in the match?
Yeah, but then it's tied, right? Because then this is the second match.
Okay.
It's 1-1.
Yeah. It was quite a promo. He says Swerve surrounds himself with yes men like Prince Nana, who has a great dance, by the way. I do enjoy Prince Nana's dance. But Daniel Garcia's dance may be the best dance in AEW. And my son does a version of Daniel Garcia's dance that is very funny. Very funny.
Disappointing. I find Nana's definitely the better one.
Yeah, but you should see Zevi's Daniel Garcia dance. It's very good. It's very good. He was doing it tonight. It was hilarious. Anyways, Hangman says Nana makes money off Swerve, then goes to buy weed from a high school kid in the parking lot. And then the crowd, like, they start popping, they chant weed. And then Hangman goes, I'm going to beat Swerve, then I'm going to go beat up Nana, and I'm going to steal his weed. And the crowd, like, went bananas for that. And I enjoyed it. That's not a thing you ordinarily hear in a wrestling promo either. You don't often hear about guys beating other guys up and stealing their weed. That was pretty cool.
See, it felt like it was serious. It felt like, he was really intense. And then he says that, and it's like, well, that kind of took away a lot of what you were saying because you just made it into a joke now. Because people it felt like people were laughing after that.
Okay. I think that it is fully believable that Prince Nana buys weed from dudes around the arena when he can, because Prince Nana likes to smoke weed. And it is fully believable that Hangman, when he's done with Swerve, he's going to grab Nana and he's going to be like, give me your weed because I want it. If I was fighting Swerve and I beat Swerve, I'd be like, hey, Nana, give me your weed or I'm going to beat you up too. That makes perfect sense to me, John. In my world, that's very logical. And it wasn't a joke. That just felt like a real threat. It just felt real.
You,
It
you
felt
didn't
real
think it
as
was
hell.
funny.
I mean, it was a
You
little
didn't think.
funny, but it was also like, yeah, cool. And then Hangman says, Swerve, you can't touch me and I can't touch you, but nobody said anything about Nana. And then Hangman attacked Nana and Swerve couldn't save him, which I thought was kind of cool. It was a cool way to use that rule. I wasn't expecting it.
No,
And
that
then,
that was good. Again, got
yeah,
serious again, which is fine.
yeah,
But back and forth, it threw it off a little bit.
I didn't find it was that much of a joke. I thought it was pretty serious the whole way through. And then security jumping in and Hangman beating them up and hitting the buckshot lariat on the big security guard. And then
Yeah,
Swerve.
they need better security guards.
Yeah.
Security guards are too much of jokes.
Um, Swerve, his expression, when he's staring at Hangman, looking
Yeah.
real shook from the entrance way. That was really good. Really good.
Well, there wasn't much Swerve could do because he didn't get to talk, but yeah, he did what he could with his reactions.
His reactions, he sold it with his face. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like when Hangman was hitting him with those lines, he was like he looked pained. He looked like he was gonna cry. Like it felt real, not just because of the stuff Hangman was saying, but the way Swerve was reacting.
Yeah.
There was something there. I liked it. I'm not sure I understood everything that was going on, but I did enjoy it. It felt real. And I think when there are real issues, or even not, when you're trying to make it feel real, I think, sometimes there are personal things that you can say that maybe the audience isn't aware of, and that's fine too. I think that adds to the oh, what's that? If you can add a detail that we don't know about, it makes it feel more real, even if it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that was the aim of this. It's just, again, I thought I got a little bit off course, got back on course, and I look forward to the match. It should be an all right match. It's not
Yeah.
the match I'm looking forward to the most, but it's a decent match that I won't be like, oh, this is going to be 5 hours. I have to watch this. So it's not one of those matches, at least. There's a couple of those matches that we're going to talk about soon, I think.
What is the match you're looking forward to the most?
Good question. You know what? Like, leading into this, it was probably the 6-man, but now I'm actually very interested about the ladder match. Now they have a ladder match, 4-way ladder match.
Yeah.
Very interested to see how that's going to work out.
Yeah. I thought that was just going to be a 4-way match, but
Yeah.
it's a ladder match now. That's a recent stipulation, right?
They just added it tonight on Collision.
Oh, that was tonight that they added that. Okay. I wasn't clear because it was like all of a sudden tonight they're like, yeah, ladder match, da-da-da. I'm like, was it always a ladder match? Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I like that Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho versus Young Bucks match.
It'd be better if there was more build. It felt like it felt like the street fight should have been on the pay-per-view because that had more build.
Yeah. But there's something there with the Bucks and Kenny, and they had a brawl there during their promo backstage with Kenny and Jericho. It's not
Oh,
bad.
I'm interested for the match. It's not bad. It's just not the match I'm most hyped for because there just wasn't a lot of hype towards this. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But it's still a fine match to watch. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But I think that's it. I'm more interested of the outcome than the actual match. Where the other ones, it's like I want to see how the 6-man is going to work. I want to see how the ladder match is going to work.
I'm having a hard time picking which match I'm looking forward to the most because there's no Bryan Danielson match on this pay-per-view, so it's kind of tough. I'd probably go with the Kenny and Jericho match because, those guys are my guys. I love those guys.
It could be good, but again,
Yeah.
wait and see. Again, the outcome to me is the most intriguing part of that, I think.
I think Kenny and Jericho are going to beat the Young Bucks and take the AEW World Tag title shot that they have. That's the stipulation. If the Golden Jets win, they get the Bucks tag title shot. If the Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team forever. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kenny and Jericho are going to win, and they'll get a tag title shot and maybe become the new tag team champions against Big Bill and Ricky Starks or whoever the tag team champions are after Full Gear. But I like the Golden Jets over the Bucks.
Yeah, just because, like, we're coming to Canada soon with AEW, so you'd rather have Kenny and Jericho teaming together than they just can't be. So yeah, keep them together. Like, the Bucks still are a team; they just lose their title shot, which they'll get another one eventually. So yeah, I think so, and this might help push more towards the Bucks heel turn, which feels like they pushed them more on Dynamite this week.
Does AEW actually have the Bucks lose in LA though? Or do they say, Bucks LA, they got to win?
Yeah, it's the Kenny. It's fine, I think.
I think so too. So I've got a Kenny and Jericho winning that match. How about that 4-way tag team ladder match for the AEW tag team titles? Ricky Starks and Big Bill, the champions, defending against Rush and Dralistico, representing La Facción Ingobernable. FTR representing themselves, Cash and Dax. And the Kings of the Black Throne, also known as Malachi Black and Brody King. A lot of teams, a lot of fancy names, a lot of ladders, a lot of crashes, a lot of smashes in this match. Yeah. It's hard to pick a winner out of this thing.
It is hard.
I feel like Ricky and Big Bill might retain.
Yeah, I'd go with that too, just because that seems like maybe the most unlikely. So I'd probably go with that, just because they haven't really hyped them up as a team that much, so they kind of need something. This would give them something. Big win.
I think people are kind of expecting FTR to win because they're FTR and they're in the match and it's for the tag titles, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. Malachi Black and Brody King are built strong as a tag team, but they don't, there's a way out here in a ladder match. Like, they don't have to get beat to lose, and I just don't see them as the new tag champs. But if it's not Ricky and Big Bill, I would go with Malachi and Brody King out of everybody else. I don't think Rush and Dralistico take the tag titles. I've been surprised before, though. I think anything's possible in this one.
Yeah, but I go with the champions retaining. Like I said, it could go either of the ways, any of them, but I'm just feeling to have the champions retain because they just won the titles recently.
And they're saying Ricky Starks asked for the match because Big Bill is 7 feet tall, and they have an advantage because you got to grab something up high, right? I could see Ricky Starks like standing on Big Bill to grab the belts and win the match. Not even using a ladder, using his partner as a ladder.
Well, maybe using his partner with the ladder, but yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. All right, wow, we're in agreement for everything so far?
So far. There's still a lot more to go.
There's not that much to go, John. There's Chris Statlander defending the AEW TBS title against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I think Statlander retains. They're doing a lot with Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and Statlander's involved for no real reason in particular.
They could give it to Julia Hart, but yeah, I think they're going to give it to Statlander here, just because I feel like there'd be more build. But it's not impossible. They could give it to Julia because they already did Julia versus Statlander already, and this is the way to have Statlander lose without actually losing the title. You have Julia just pin Sky Blue.
I think there's stuff going on with Sky Blue and Julia Hart. They'll cancel each other out, and Statlander will pick up the win. I don't think Hart and Blue win.
I agree with you, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a title change here.
We haven't predicted any title changes so far.
Oh, that'll happen. Don't worry.
I think
I got Tony
Tony
Storm winning.
Storm will win a belt. I think there'll be a title change
I
there.
hope so.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm still worried because like they've got to put something in there where it's possible she could lose now, which would be ridiculous. But yeah, I got Tony Storm beating Sheeta.
Yeah, me too. And that's the only title change I see happening. I think Statlander retains. I think Orange Cassidy retains over Moxley. We think Ricky Starks and Big Bill retain the tag titles. And we have MJF not only retaining the Ring of Honor tag titles, but also the AEW World Championship. So the only title change we're predicting on this pay-per-view is Hikaru Shida dropping the belt to timeless Tony Storm.
Well, there's still one more match, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No. You're mistaken.
Yes. No, you're mistaken.
What's the match?
Claudio is wrestling Buddy Murphy.
Oh my God! They just added 2 matches. I opened the card.
With this stuff.
I opened the card before the show. We're an hour into the show, and they've added matches on me. What the hell is this?
That's what they do.
These are pre-show matches, though. They don't count. Buddy Matthews versus Claudio Castagnoli. I think Claudio gets the win back for the Blackpool Combat Club because Buddy beat Wheeler tonight.
Yeah, I could see Claudio winning. Yeah.
It could be a good match on the pre-show.
It could be a very good match.
And Eddie Kingston defending the Ring of Honor world title against Jay Lethal. I think Eddie Kingston wins, but I couldn't care less.
Well, yeah, he's not going to lose the ROH title on a pre-show. It'd be at the ROH pay-per-view that's coming up, I think, next week or the 15th of December, I think.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Final battle, ROH. Not that you care.
Not particularly. So that's Full Gear. We did it, John.
Well, it's not as long as I thought, but it will definitely feel long, I'm sure.
I don't know. They don't have a ton of matches for this thing. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the main card. 3 pre-show matches, 8 main card matches. That's not so bad.
Well, if every match goes 20 minutes, you'll feel it. But wait and see.
I mean, this card is 11 matches. Last year's Full Gear had 13.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream had like 14 matches, no? Last pay-per-view?
Last pay-per-view had, 14 matches.
Yeah, that was a little much.
4 pre-show matches, 10 on the main card, which is outrageous. Oof. Outrageous. All Out had 13 matches. All In had 11 matches. So, which is where we are here for Full Gear. 11 is fair.
Well,
13, 14, that's ridiculous.
We have the big signing, right? Like Tony's going to have the new superstar debut.
Who will the new superstar be? Will it be Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks? Will it be Ronda Rousey? Will it be Will the Ospreay? Will it be Dolph Ziggler? Will it be Rick Boogs?
Okay, wow. We're saying everyone.
Well, where is Rick Boogs? Has he quit wrestling? Where's Elias? Has he quit wrestling?
Well, a lot of those guys are on 90-day no-compete clauses. So.
That's not up yet?
I think end of December. So, no Ziggler.
What's the deal with that? You can't do anything for 90 days? They still pay you?
I think it's just like your contract. That's it. So, yeah, like as long as they paid you up to that point, yeah, I guess you don't get paid.
Yeah. So who's it going to be? You think it's going to be Will Ospreay officially signing with AEW?
Well, just because the way Tony worded it, it has to be him because all the other ones don't make sense. He's the only one that makes sense.
Yeah. Tony Khan. What exactly was the tweet? I want to get
The actual wordage.
the wording, but I can't find it. Tony Khan tweets too much. Kota Ibushi officially signed with AEW as well.
Well, they had the graphic finally, right? They said he's all elite, but I think
Yeah.
he said he signed the contract a while back. Actually, I think after like Blood and Guts, they just finally made it official.
Okay.
Oh, you
There's
found it.
Tony Khan from a couple days ago. AEW has agreed to terms with one of the world's best wrestlers, a pro who is known and respected by virtually every AEW fan. Respected by virtually every AEW fan. Not all AEW fans, though. They'll come to LA to sign their contract this Saturday, 11/18, on pay-per-view at AEW Full Gear. So, yeah, I mean, Will Ospreay makes sense. There are rumors of Ronda Rousey, too.
So yeah, I would say Ronda, but because of the way he worded that, I would think not Ronda, because Ronda is going to have somewhat of a negative backlash, because everyone thinks Ronda is a terrible wrestler, but Ronda's
Ooh.
actually fantastic. So, but unfortunately, again, the way he said it, AEW fans, sadly, I don't think appreciate what Ronda can do in wrestling. So,
Well,
I don't think it's Ronda.
I think you may be wrong about that, because she seems to have got a big pop tonight when she debuted for Ring of Honor at the Ring of Honor tapings.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. However, let's
Ronda
remember this is
Rousey.
kind of in her own town, is it not?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. She lives in
Let's see her
LA
outside.
area. Yeah.
Let's see her outside of LA. Remember all of AEW fans, but that's fantastic that Ronda has debuted in a sense for AEW already. It needed to happen. I'm glad it happened.
Do you find it odd that she's debuted in Ring of Honor before debuting in AEW? I do.
I wouldn't have done it that way. I definitely would have had her show up on the pay-per-view. But I think this is more about this is what she wants to do, and they're okay with it, so they're just going to go with that. So we've always questioned Ronda's booking in the past, so this is another questionable booking. Not the best way to use her, but they should use her. I mean, she's one of the best, in my opinion, so definitely use her.
Ronda
Do you
Rousey has
have photos, I
debuted.
guess?
I guess I could show you a quick clip here from Fightful Wrestling. They have a clip of there's Ronda in Ring of Honor with Marina
Wow.
Shafir.
So did she wrestle? She had a match.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know
And
if she wrestled. I think she just made her entrance like 10 minutes ago or something. Like, it just happened. But that's
Okay.
Ronda in Ring of Honor.
Wow. See, this should have happened on Collision. Imagine
Yeah.
if you had just Ronda come out on Collision, like the reaction I would have gotten.
During
I,
SmackDown. Like, while SmackDown was going on, that would have been massive. The buzz would, it probably would have drawn people over to Collision off of SmackDown.
yes, like this was what I was talking about before. Like the star power was lacking on Collision. Like it started good, but you didn't have the star power. If you just would have had Ronda come out, or just shown Ronda, people would have been interested. People would have watched. Doesn't matter who you put on there. It's shocking that they would just use her like this. Like, I mean, it's good that they're using her. Don't get me wrong. Glad they're using her, but just to be like, oh, in a dark match in a sense, she's above that. It's weird.
This is Ronda Rousey wrestling, I think, is Billy Starks and Athena. She's wrestling a match.
Well, they did this match yesterday too, but they did this at like an indie show, so they
Right.
probably just redid pretty much the whole match again, I guess.
There's Ronda.
But for Ring of Honor. Wow.
Crazy. Ronda Rousey is
What?
in Ring of Honor. Look at that. There's Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, bailing. Ronda wrestling a tag match with Marina Shafir for Ring of Honor tonight, doing Ring of Honor tapings in L.A. They did Collision, they did Rampage, and now they're doing the Ring of Honor tapings. She's probably still in the ring. We'll update you if we get any news.
Wow. That's big. That's like breaking stuff right there.
It is. It's
So I guess
very much breaking news. It just happened, John. It's yeah. And we were just talking about Ronda too. At the same time we're talking about Ronda, you're like, I don't know how the AEW fans will react to her. And then there's an AEW crowd reacting to her.
Yeah.
Apparently there were Sean Ross Sapp is reporting there were "We love Ronda, no we don't" chants for her at the tapings. We love Ronda, no we don't, apparently.
Ronda had that kind of reaction too in WWE, where it's very much like CM Punk, where there are people that appreciate her, that understand Ronda, and then there's the dumb fans that apparently don't.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that whole mixed kind of feel with her. But you should definitely use her because she does get that kind of reaction. And I don't know about what you've seen of her lately, but that match that she had yesterday, I was like, wow, like I want to see more of Ronda wrestling. I'm glad it's going to be in AEW because I think that's a better showcase for her than just in like indie matches.
Yeah. But is it in AEW? Because it seems to be in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but like, you know, AEW, Tony Khan, Ring of Honor, he owns all of it, right? So, I mean, he can easily put that on Dynamite, Collision whenever he wants. So just to have Ronda there, though, and like be a part of that, that's huge. They should make a bigger deal out of this than they already are.
Yeah. Hopefully she shows up on Dynamite. Like Harold Schneider says here, dropping a super chat. Thank you, Harold. He says AEW with Ronda is better than without her. I agree 110%. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes you care now about Marina Shafir. Like, we haven't really cared about her now, but now with Ronda, it's like, well, now she matters.
Yep, big time. Portier Concierge says Ronda Rousey is a lot better wrestler than Jade Cargill. I agree with that.
Yeah. Super chat. Bigger star, too,
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you, Harold, for dropping that super chat. Appreciate it. You're the super chat leader of the night so far. So, yeah, Ronda Rousey showing up in Ring of Honor tonight. Definitely huge news. Do you keep her in Ring of Honor as a way to draw people in to watch Ring of Honor, to watch Final Battle? Or do you bring her to AEW to boost up that women's division? Like, I, as an AEW viewer, would prefer seeing Ronda in AEW, but I understand if you want to use her as a draw for Ring of Honor that doesn't have a lot of draws.
If anything, having Ronda there, like, you have an excuse now why you need women's tag team titles. Because now you have a tag team that people would be interested in watching, I think. And you have enough women in your division, you could make some tag teams, but pretty much build it off of Ronda and Marina, I think.
Wow. So you would bring her into AEW and introduce new belts for her.
Yep. Kind of like what UFC did, right? Like, they just pretty much gave Ronda a belt like when she started. Do the same thing.
Well, Ronda was the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion at the time, and the UFC didn't have a women's bantamweight division, so they basically absorbed the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight division when they bought Strikeforce, and Ronda came in, and she was made the UFC champion, but I think like everybody recognized her as a champion. Was she even made the UFC champion, or was it vacant at the time? I'm pretty sure they gave her the belt, but she was the Strikeforce champion, so I mean, she was recognized as the 135 champion at the time.
Well, either way, just, you know, you have a reason now to have women's tag team titles. You should do it with this, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I would put Ronda just in the women's division, regular. I wouldn't add tag team titles because I don't think they have that deep of a division talent-wise to add another set of belts. I mean, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
For the women's division, they could do it. The men's has enough, but I think for the women, they can go for tag titles.
I guess the men they have way too many belts.
Yeah, the men way too much, but the women.
Who's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion?
It's Athena.
How come she's never on AEW? Like, how come Eddie Kingston is on AEW as the Ring of Honor World Champion, but there's never Athena? Like, I don't know that she's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. They don't put her on AEW ever, right?
She was on the pre-show, if I'm not mistaken, for Wrestle Dream, no?
Okay, I don't know. But, it's like she's not really featured in any kind of way. Maybe the Ring of Honor Women's Division needs a boost from Ronda,
Well, it definitely will get a boost. I mean, she's easily the biggest star right away there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's the biggest women's star they have, period, now in the company.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Full Gear is tomorrow night. We're going to be on right after Full Gear. John, just before we wrap things up, I do want to talk about Randy Orton, who is rumored to be coming back at War Games. Now, War Games, as it stands, is next week. We'll be previewing WWE Survivor Series War Games next week here on the show. Gunther will defend the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz. Rhea Ripley will defend the Women's World Title against Zoe Stark. Carlito and Santos Escobar made official tonight, 1-on-1. And we have the Women's War Games match, which is Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch taking on Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. The men's War Games match is Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. However, traditionally, War Games is 5-on-5. These matches are 4-on-4. Right. Are they going to add another man? Because there are rumors that the men's match may add somebody on both teams. Now, Drew McIntyre has aligned himself with the Judgment Day. There are rumors that Drew McIntyre will add himself to that Judgment Day team. And to even things out on the babyface side, a returning Randy Orton would be the fifth and final member of that team. What do you think about that? Do you believe those rumors? I feel like the pay-per-view needs something like that. Because right now, looking at the card, it's kind of flat.
Well, you complained last week that Judgment Day was kind of weak going into this. So
yeah,
adding Drew McIntyre to that adds to the strength of that team, like tenfold.
But if you counter it with Randy, it's like, well, Randy's stronger than Drew, so they're still weak,
No, you're right. It's true. But they kind of mentioned it, too, that they're just a bunch of random guys put together, where Judgment Day is actually a unit. So I feel Judgment Day is going to win, regardless if Randy comes back.
Do you think he will?
I hope so. I mean, when's he coming back, if ever? I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for it to happen. Maybe that's the reason why they haven't made it officially 5-on-5, because they're not sure if Randy can come back.
This card, 5 matches next week, real flat. They need CM Punk. They need Randy Orton. They need something. This Survivor Series show looks terrible.
Well, let's be honest here. When you have a pay-per-view, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And then come back with another one? It's happened with AEW. You can't do these pay-per-views so quickly. You got to give them time to breathe, and just to shove it down our throats again, it's too much.
It is odd. The next week of TV is going to be real interesting for the WWE to see what they can put together for Survivor Series, because it seems kind of like they're missing a few elements, and hopefully on Monday night they'll be able to add a few, and then on Friday night we'll see. They have advertised for next Friday a tag team title match. The Street Profits, who earned a shot winning a triple threat tonight, will take on the Judgment Day, and Kevin Owens will be on the Grayson Waller effect. Okay. It'll be interesting, though. I'm interested to see how WWE puts a Survivor Series together, what the final card looks like, because if it looks anything like this, like if this is it, and next week we're looking at this as the show, yikes, man. That's kind of rough. That is not a very good Survivor Series.
If you bring Punk and Orton, people will be happy.
Yeah, of course. That would be massive. Then all of a sudden it's a great show. But if you have none, that's no good. If you have one of them, I think, okay. Even if it's Randy. Punk would be like, wow, Punk is back. Crazy. You got to watch Survivor Series. Randy Orton comes back. It's like, Randy's been out for a while. I thought his back was, going to end his career. Good to see Randy back. See Randy in War Games. Yeah, I'm into that, It's a reason to watch. It's not like, wow, it's must-see because of Randy for me, but it's a reason to watch. But Punk is like, wow, if they have Punk, it's must-see. And if they have Punk and Randy, then it's like, wow, this show is going to be really cool. But, we got 7 days. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm never a fan of bringing someone back and putting them into like a backyard wrestling match, but that seems to be what WWE likes to do.
Yeah.
Just throw them in these matches all the time. Just been gone for so long. Well, hardcore match. Cool.
Yeah, Angelo Contagonis correctly pointing out Orton hasn't wrestled in 18 months, and then to put him in a War Games match like this seems a little risky. But, hey, we'll see. We'll see what they do in 7 days' time when we preview War Games Survivor Series. But tomorrow night we'll be on right after AEW Full Gear to review the show. We will be on to talk to you about the match of the night. We'll give you our score on 10 and everything that happened at Full Gear. We will break it down right here on the Ringside Report Network. I want to give a shout-out to all the members, Angelo Contagonis, Jason Pete, Harold Schneider, Lior, and everybody else checking in here tonight, especially the members, though, over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you to Harold Schneider. You are the Super Chat leader of the night. Appreciate your support, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be on again tomorrow night after Full Gear on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again.